Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where I was 5 minutes into this episode, and then my computer decided to freeze for some reason. Not entirely sure what that is, but what we were doing is we were going through and putting in our package generation chances here. And essentially I was just copying from the parcel generation here, so this may not be entirely the same way I did it the first time, but it'll be pretty close. So for the duplex, I just copied this in from the apartment complex, and I said it's gonna be pretty close. And that's perfectly fine. 0.33, 0.33, 0.4, and 0.1. Okay. And then for the upscale housing, I did pretty much the same thing. 0.5, 0.75, 0.15. In fact, I do have the video. It's in a partially corrupted state. But let me see here if I can actually see this. The answer appears to be maybe. Okay, so there's duplexes. Yeah, it's definitely in a partially corrupted state. You can see that. But, well, and actually, you kind of can't see that, can you? It's actually kind of working, which is surprising considering this is a 0-byte file. It's intriguing. Okay, so for duplexes, I think I changed those chances slightly. Let's just come up to here, and I'm just going to copy this in. So for duplexes, I just made this basically even. So 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, and 0.25. And then for upscale housing, what I did previously was, if I skip ahead a little bit here, okay. What I did for upscale housing here was I did 0.5, 0.4. I'm just wondering why this was already filled in a little bit. That's a little strange. But 0.5, 0.4, 0.25, 0.25, and then 0.1, and then 0.125, 0.25, 0.375, and then 0.25. Oh, seriously? I was hitting enter rather than tab. Okay, let's try that again with the shipping container chance. So 0.1, 0.125, 0.25, 0.375, and 0.25. Okay. There we go. Now, I also did the warehouse, so let me skip ahead for that. And the conclusions I came to there was pretty much that it would be an even spread on that. And then for the shipping types, the create parcel chance, it creates 20 because it's a warehouse shipping things out. And then the generation chance here for the shipping types was skewing towards the cheaper end. Like that. Okay, and then mall was where I was when it crashed before. So I can go ahead and close that over there. And then for the mall, the generate parcel chance would be relatively low because, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my computer just dying for some unknown reason. The create parcel chance would be significantly lower because mall's interest is primarily getting people into the malls, not shipping things from the malls. So the create parcel chance would probably be something around, like, I don't know, 0.2? Which would be like one package every 10 months. Not much, but things are lower than they are expected in this game. Except for like the housing, that's kind of higher than expected. I don't know. We can tweak this later on. Now malls would mostly be shipping smaller packages, so we'll do like 0.33, 0.33, 0.165, 0.165, like that. And then as far as the delivery types, that's basically going to be the same thing as the warehouse. They're going to want to ship things cheaply rather than quickly. So 0.33, 0.33, 0.165, and 0.165. Oh, and one thing that I mentioned in the previous iteration of this episode is that I'm currently trying out a new microphone position. So if my voice sounds awful or it's too loud or something, please let me know. Anyway, we've got our storefront here. And the storefront is going to be basically the same as the store up here. I wish we could just copy this. That would be nice, but alas, we cannot. So we are going to do like 0.2. And actually, I'm going to save this because now I'm paranoid that it's going to lock up at any moment. So stores, or rather storefronts, are going to be primarily shipping smaller packages. We'll go with 0.4, 0.4, 0.1, and 0.1. And again, they're going to be prioritizing the cheaper shipping methods. 0.16225 or 165? 165. Okay. So 0.165. There we go. Now factories, they're going to be shipping things quite frequently because they're making things, right? So they're going to be shipping, I don't know, maybe half as much as a warehouse? We'll try that. Now, as far as the things that they create, it's kind of all over the place. We'll just evenly split it. They're, again, though, going to be wanting to ship things a little cheaper. 0.165, not 1625. What am I doing? I don't even know anymore. There we go. Okay, so breweries are going to be basically like factories. Which, there we go. Breweries are going to be basically like factories, and I'm just going to copy this in, except I'm going to slightly reduce their output. Very slightly. There we go. Now utilities. Why would a utility be generating packages? Well, mailing bills. That's a thing. So maybe they produce like 0.3 packages monthly. I don't know. And this would be primarily parcels. So like 75% parcels. And then 0.15 packages. That brings us up to what? 0.9? So 0.05 and 0.05. And they're going to be sending these like all bulk, basically. Okay, and there we go. That's with all of our parcel generation in. So the question then becomes, how do we actually generate the parcel? It's a good question. Let's go into our parcel here, and we've got our origin and our destination. That's all fine. What about the parcel manager? So we've got the generate pickup package building from building. Okay, so in our building then, we're going to want to generate the parcel by doing something along the lines of, in our building script, we go down to our, I don't know, on minute tick or on hour tick? I don't know. Should we generate these on the minute or on the hour? And we should also determine if the building is close enough, like within logistical range, which would be, I don't know, like within perhaps the same world hex or in an adjacent world hex to a building that we have. So essentially, We'll go with the on-hour tick for right now. Actually, we'll do it in the minute tick, I guess. So, first thing we need to do is if... And this is not implemented. If close enough to player structure. Again, that's not implemented. So that's just not going to do anything just yet. So if close enough to player structure, then what do we do? Well, we need to have access to the parcel manager. So let's go ahead and do right up, I guess, here before the constructor. We'll do public parcel manager, Okay, now this isn't a mono behavior, but in our start, we can go ahead and do... Actually, we could pass it in here, or we could just say in the constructor, parcel manager equals game object dot find object of type parcel manager, like so. Okay, so obviously close enough to player structure doesn't exist, but then we should go ahead and do the check to see if our balance is correct. So the first thing we need to do is we need to convert this per month in our balance to the per minute. So essentially we need to determine how many days are in the month, which we do right here. And we need then to determine how many hours and minutes are in each day, which is easy enough to hard code. So let's just go ahead and say something along the lines of float generation chance equals, and then this is going to be balance dot, and this is going to be, this is already the building balance. So I think this is going to be the, what did I call it? I can't even remember. I called it the create parcel chance. Okay, so this happens every minute, and this is currently assuming that this is a month. So we then need to divide that by the number of days in month. So manager.currentTime.getDays in month, manager.currentTime.month. Okay, and then I'm guessing this 1440f is actually the correct amount, but we'll verify that. So we'll open up the calculator, and each of these, we now have our number of days in month, and we need to know how many minutes are in that day. So that's easy enough. There's 24 hours in a day, multiplied by 60. Yeah, it's the same 1440 number, as expected. Okay, so that gets us our actual generation chance per minute. Then, if random.range, and we'll go 0f to 1f, is less than generation chance, then we should go ahead and generate a package. So package manager, parcel manager, of course. Parcel manager dot generate package, generate pickup package from building would be this. And that's all we need to do, theoretically. Now, we don't have this close enough to player structure method here. Well, it's not really a method. This is going to be a property. And realistically, I mean, it's going to be a public bool close enough to player structure. And then we're just going to do a get. There is no set. And then the question is, how do we determine this? It's a good question. We can iterate through, or alternately, in the hex manager, we could do, I mean, we already have this, get distance to owned building. Now, that's unimplemented. And the question is, this returns a float in what? Biome hexes? Building hexes? World hexes? I don't know. That's interesting. So get distance to owned building. I guess we'll go ahead and say in building hexes. And then the question is, what is the closest owned building? Right? We could figure that out relatively easily-ish. But for right now, we're just going to hop over here to here, and we're going to say manager.business, I believe, .hexmanager.get distance to owned building. Where are we? In building hexes. So if manager.business.hexmanager.get distance to owned building in building hexes is less than, I don't know what, like 25, return true, else return false. Okay. Well, it is time for a cut, so I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode we will implement get distance to owned building in building hexes. See you all then.